Hi everyone, welcome to another maths video by Maths with Sarah. As you can see from the screen, we've got a bit of an algebra medley going on. So over the course of the next few videos, I'm going to be talking about a different one of these questions. So the most recent video that I did was looking at this question, and we talked about the rules of indices and powers and how we could use those to solve this question. So today, this is the question that I'm going to be looking at, so simplifying this rather horrible looking algebraic fraction. So let's get started. So as with all of these questions, I encourage you to pause the video and have a go yourself before watching the video. So I will explain it in detail and I'll hopefully help you through it if you do get stuck. But I really do encourage you to have a go on your own first to see how far you can get, even if you can't get to the end, that doesn't matter. So let's have a look at this question. We have got two different quadratics, one as the numerator, one as the denominator. And we've been asked to simplify this, this algebraic fraction. So the way that I would go about this is splitting it up into two parts. Looking at it all together just is very confusing. There's a lot going on. So I suggest we split it up and then we can put it all back together at the end and hopefully it will be a little bit easier to deal with. So to start with, I'm going to just be looking at the numerator. So we have got x squared minus 16. So this may not look that much like a quadratic to you. Obviously, we're sort of missing the x term. We've got an x squared, we've got a number, but we're missing the x term. But that doesn't mean that it's not a quadratic, and it doesn't mean that we can't factorize it into brackets in the same way that we would do with other quadratics. So we're still going to have two brackets and we're still going to have an x in each bracket. The only difference is that whereas normally we would be looking for two numbers that multiply to make this number and that add to make the x term. In this case, our x term is 0, so we're essentially looking for the same number. Luckily, as this number is a square number, we can have -4 and +4. And I'll show you in a minute how we can multiply this out to check that we have got the right answer. So the proper name for this is a difference of two squares, which you may have heard of before. So I think I've probably mentioned this in a few of my other videos, but I'm a strong believer in really checking to make sure that you have got the answer right as you go along. So at this step here, we put this into brackets. And I really think it's important to just take a second here to check that we have done it, we have put it in brackets correctly. So if we multiply this out, we've got x squared minus 4x plus 4x minus 16. And as you can see, we've got minus 4x plus 4x. Those two are going to cancel out to leave 0x. So we've got x squared minus 16, which is of course what we were hoping to get. Good, right, okay. So that's the numerator dealt with. Now let's have a look at the denominator. So we've got 2x squared minus 5x minus 12, and this is what we've got on the bottom. So again, we can do exactly the same and factorize it into brackets. So if we draw out the two brackets, we have got this one of them will have 2x in, the other one will just have x, and then we're looking for a pair of numbers that we can multiply to make minus 12, minus 24 with the 2 involved, and add to make minus 5. So it's actually one of my students that taught me this method. So the way that she was told to do it was to do 2 times minus 12, so times this a and c term, which gives us minus 24. And then look for factors or pairs of factors of this number, but then add to make minus 5. So in this case, we would have minus 8 and plus 3. And then because this one is going to be multiplied by 2 in the brackets when we can expand it out, we therefore need to divide it by 2 when we put it into the bracket. So, as again, I was saying about this before, I always think it's important to, at this stage, once we've factorized it into brackets, just to stop and check that we have done that step correctly. So if we expand it, we get 2 x squared plus 3x minus 8x minus 12. So if we simplify this, then we end up with minus 5x. So luckily we do get exactly the same as what we started with, 2x squared minus 5x minus 12. So excellent. So now we've dealt with the top and the bottom. It's now a good time that we can now put this back together. So if we take each step of this, we can now say that on the top of the fraction, we have x minus 4, x plus 4, and then that is divided by 2x plus 3, stop the bracket, x minus 4. And hopefully you can see at this point that we are able to just cancel out the x minus 4 from both the top and the bottom, leaving us with just x plus 4, 2x plus 3 as the final answer, which I'm sure you'll agree is considerably simpler. This has much fewer terms involved than this rather horrible looking algebraic fraction that we started with. And so that's what we're looking at. When we get algebraic fractions which have got quadratics in them, the best place to start is by factorising both the top and the bottom, and then just seeing whether or not there are any brackets that can cancel each other out, as we had in this case. So if you're struggling with algebraic fractions, I have got a number of videos that involve doing something similar to this, so I advise you check out those and subscribe to the channel for any other videos that are coming up. I've got quite a few algebra on the cards, so if that's something you struggle with, then make sure you subscribe to the channel. Algebraic fractions do come up quite a lot at A-level, so if you're thinking of taking maths for A-level, then I really advise you to get quite comfortable with them. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon for another video.